In my experience, we first have to have an identity and a true self before we can transcend the self into the ground of being, or feelings, continuous abiding feelings of being one with that I am. And the ground of being, when I say that, I mean the mother. That is who the mother is. She is this life force and the consciousness that is in everything. So we have all our ideas and our mental constructions of our identity. But when all of those masks fall away, when there is no mental game going on or construction, we come into the ground of being, which is that I am, which is the revelation of all the great sages, right? From Yeshua and throughout the world. Not the only one who said that. In fact, said it much later than rishis from the East. So, in my experience though, when I had a lot of false ego, when I was in a false identity, not all false, but a lot of falsity was there because of my childhood traumas and pain, I was wearing a lot of masks that I was unaware of because they were keeping me safe, because I had to wear masks in order to perform for the dysfunctional parental situation I had growing up, right? So my recovery was releasing. We all go through the recovery of releasing the masks and going, it's actually safe to be exactly who I am, even though there's a fear mechanism in my body as an adult to just give myself the things that make me feel amazing, to just be authentically me. And this reminds me, on this note, on authenticity, I think it's the David Hawkins sort of consciousness measurements, right? There's consciousness has different feelings, have different measurements of frequency, and the highest frequency is not love, it's authenticity. That's the highest frequency, which means you are vibing really high, not when you're all like, oh my god, light and love, I just want to be so light and love. No, when you're just rocking out in whatever tone, with your shadow, with your authenticity, with your real raw self, that is higher and higher frequency. So from that place of authenticity, because there's been so much reclamation of the true self, reclaiming the true identity and integrating and releasing the false identity, so taking off all the masks, brings you into authenticity. And from that space, you drop even deeper into below even your authentic self. Oh, here's Jen. She thinks, she likes to identify as a Gnostic priestess and likes to do service work, and her Dharma is this and that and healing. But even below that is the ground of being, which is the Atman, which is the mother, which is the consciousness, which is the I am that. So that's even, that's the abiding place that the rishis live in and rest in and surrender to, because it's empty. When I've had experiences of that space, it's empty, and it's scary because you're emptying yourself of everything you believe about yourself. False self is gone, you're now in true self and authenticity, and now you're like, even this is a facade, what's below this? And in that emptiness of the ground of being, there is a great fullness there. And it's not like I live there all the time, but it's the more when I see, it's not that false self is gone, there's always things that are being revealed, but the more I integrate, the more I come into the middle way, the more abiding this sense is. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that today, like, come into the true self and authenticity, and then that aids the space that the rishis are speaking about, being one with that I am. And it's not like you can't have those experiences of oneness when you're like sort of riddled with false self stuff, because those experiences are always available to us. But often they're had, and then a week or two later, life is back to how it is, back to how one walks around with a sense of maybe a depleted feeling in the self, the same compulsions, the same issues. are there to meet the person. The false self is like, I'm still here. So yeah, I think that's why I'm always working. It's just part of my life now. It's actually just my priority. It's like eating food every day. I'm just always in observation of myself and what shadow is sneakily doing its thing and working with it to come into more true self. Yeah. I wonder if you feel this way or you know what I'm talking about. Sending love.